Hi, my name's Steve and I'm putting together some videos where I aim to teach you basic joinery skills. I gained my skills over the years through my job as a professional flat roofer. So as part of the job of a flat roofer is to do reboards. It's like when your roof boards go rotten, then they need replacing. What we replace them with is something called an OSB board. Now I've got a chunk of it here. It's OSB stands for orientated strand board, and as you can see it's comprised of strands. So it's made by the manufacturers of the board. They source small fast growing trees from sustainable forests. So what they do with these fast growing trees is they mash them all up into strands, basically mould them into boards, which are very good, and they're very durable, very strong, very flexible, easy to work with, even thickness. They come from a sustainable source, so that's brilliant, and they're fairly cheap to buy as well, so you've got lots of benefits. So what you'll notice, it's hard to you can't perceive it very well by looking on the camera, but this side is dull and it's plain. That side is slightly shiny and a bit smoother to the touch. You can only do this by looking at the board itself. So that's OSB board, and the reason you got this shiny side is it's got a waterproof coating on it, which is there to act as to prevent damp from damp ingress. That means damp soaking into the OSB board and degrading the board. So I'll explain to you, where I gained my skills in using OSB. When we did a reboard, we ripped off the old board, we got the OSB board, shiny face was placed onto the joists, the dull surface facing the outside. So we nailed it to the joist, then we put felt over the top of the dull side, and that was it. Then we just sealed it around the edges, and that was the roof done. Now you might wonder why the shiny side is face down, the waterproof coating. Well, if you think about it, in a roof in winter, you've got the outside, you're going to have cold air. Inside, it's going to be warm air because it's inside a house. So there's the potential for condensation to develop. So if condensation did develop, then the waterproof coating would act as a damp barrier and stop the dampness soaking into the OSB board. And once the OSB board gets damp, that's when the damage occurs. That's when it over the years it will slowly degrade the board. So that's how the majority of roofing companies in the UK will use OSB board, because it's, like I say, it's cheap, it's easily available. In fact, most of the building trade will use OSB board, as will a lot of manufacturers of furniture, because it's just a very good board to work with. So that's OSB board. So as part of my job as a roofer, we sometimes had to build boxes, because if you imagine you've got vents coming through the roof for various reasons. So to waterproof them to the roof, what we did was we'd build a box around it out of OSB, screw the box together, screw the box to the roof, then the plumber would come and he would get an apron and he would dress it round the circular plastic pipe, which the vents usually are, and then he'd dress it over the box, which we would have previously filtered. And so I've had a lot of experience in building boxes. So that sort of brings me on to my first project. I think as it's for beginners, I'm sort of like making the assumption you haven't got a toolbox. So where better to start than building a toolbox where you can keep all your tools in and store it away in a convenient place. In fact, the one I'm going to build is just here in this corner. So that's my first project, and you don't just have to be a joiner. You could be any crafts where you need to store your stuff away. You could easily build easily build a box like this. I mean, it's just a matter of getting your boards cut to size, getting the correct screws and screwing the box together, and that's all what's entailed with the very first project. And literally anyone will be able to complete this project. Right, so I'm going to put a series of videos together. For my next video, I'm going to do a hedgehog hotel, hedgehog house, hog hostel, whatever you want to call it. And why I'm going to do that is because this autumn I found a little hedgehog which didn't seem very well, so I took it to a friend to look after, and this hedgehog died. So I talked to my daughter about it, who loves wildlife, and she suggested that I make a hog house, as she called it. So what it is, it's just a cardboard, it's just a wooden box made out of OSB. You create an entrance for the hedgehog to run in, to walk through. You fill it full of straw, and it's got somewhere to hibernate or rest, or on a cold night, somewhere to take shelter. And apparently I bought this hedgehog hotel so big, it's probably going to be a good place for them to breed in the spring. So it's a bit of a double whammy, really. So my daughter will be pleased. My project after that will be a cat shelter, because I've got a friend who's got a cat, and apparently she wants it to have a shelter, so when she's out the house, the cat's got somewhere to shelter when it's raining and cold. And in fact, I've got to she wants a window put in it, of all things, so the cat's got somewhere to look at. A window, house with a view, so to speak. Anyway, so that's me. Like I say, I'm a semi-retired felt roofer, and I'm looking to put together some videos. Hopefully they're going to help you start on your journey doing joinery. Even if you don't start on a journey doing joinery, I mean, just everyone needs boxes, don't they? For storage, for moving house, for creating stands if you do craft fairs. They're just a box, you know what I mean? Okay, thanks for listening, and my video for building this toolbox will be posted very soon. Thanks for listening, guys. Cheers.